Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Apex Racing TV, and welcome to a Club 73 Touring Car Championship special event. We've had the King of the Ring in Season 1, we had the King of the Hill in Season 2. This, ladies and gentlemen, is SnetterTON. Hello everybody, Andrew Woodhouse here, as usual, alongside iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson and Adam Bath. And Adam, SnetterTON is a classic circuit on the UK motorsport calendar, and recently arrived in iRacing, and this is the first time that we're arriving here on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been here as well, so yeah, we should be in for a really interesting show. And yeah, by SnetterTON we mean 100 miles, so we should be in for a good amount of racing today. The three usual classes showing up as well, the Kias, the Mustangs and the Jettas too, so we'll see how they get on. Should also mention that we're running on the 200 layout, which is basically the SnetterTON layout before they added that little extra bit onto it in 2011, so yeah, it should be in for a good evening.
Yeah, the only difference is that there is now a hairpin at turn 2 instead of what used to be sort of a 90 medium
right
speed,
yeah,
medium speed right-hander onto the Revit straight. So yeah, Alex Simpson joins us here as well. SnetterTON is in Norfolk, and it's more your part of the country than mine, but is it a place you've ever visited?
Never been. No, never been at all.
I don't think we've ever travelled east, have we?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Quite a long way away, though, isn't it? It's quite out in the sticks. Is this place really? As there's a spin.
I mean,
Michael Hall's been turned around by one of the Jettas.
It's a weird place to get to actually, because even though I'm sort of this neck of the wood, I think it's still like a 2.5-hour drive because there's no direct roads, you know,
the motorway
to the east kind of thing. Yeah, it's all sort of cross country, so it just takes so long to get there. So yeah, you know, it's toss up between a 35-minute drive to Silverstone and you know, or a 2.5-hour drive up to sort of Alton Park or Donington, you know, and it's easier to do those than it is to go to SnetterTON.
I do reckon. Sorry,
I was just going to say we've probably got most of England covered, haven't we? You're probably east. I'm northwest, and Alex is like southern. So I think we just haven't covered that neck of the woods, haven't we? Yeah.
A push, definitely. Just for those who've not watched the Club 73 Touring Car Championship before, we've got three classes of car out there. We've got the Kia Optima, the Ford Mustang, and the Volkswagen Jetta. And this is going to be, as the title suggests, it's going to be 50. It's going to be 50 laps. It's going to be 100 miles exactly. And well, Pete Harrod is on pole position, Adam, and we're going to see if he can keep that.
No surprises really, is there? Yeah, he's a two-time Kia champion, so I think we expected him to come here and do well. Pretty short laps, though, we should also mention, around the SnetterTON circuit. Yeah, he's doing well. Chris Wood in second place. He's always been a front runner in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship this season. And then we've got Paul Smith in third, moving over from the BSRTC duties to race here tonight. We've got Mark Woodhouse as well, so we've got a reasonable share of Kias. We've got 9 of them on the grid today, and then we've got 9 Mustangs. That's probably the biggest entry we've seen for them this season outside the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. And in the Jettas we've got 6 of them, and that's probably down on what we usually see. But yeah, overall, probably
no
even
Tim Mawson and no Ryan Walker there.
Yeah, in fact, no cheese and wine at all. So yeah, 24 cars set to take part in this 100-mile race today.
Alex, I think there's going to be some overtaking here anyway. We've got 2 fairly long straights here and into a couple of heavy braking zones. So yeah, we could have some good action.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say it opens it up nicely for the cars to use the slipstream and have a run. So yeah, could be an exciting one. Obviously, fuel limited, somewhat for the drivers. 50% for the Kia and the Mustang, and 20%, I believe, for the Jettas. So yeah, expect some pit stops today, just see how they pay out. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the track and I was thinking sort of average sort of speeds that are going to be held here are going to be fairly high looking at the layout. So, you know, 100 miles, I don't think it's going to take that long to nip by, you know?
No, I don't think so. Adam, if you could take us through the starting grid for the SnetterTON.
Yes, let's have a look. Pete Harrod starts on the pole position, Chris Wood starting in second, Paul Smith in third, Mark Woodhouse starting in fourth place with Michael Evdoka starting in fifth, then sixth Tristan Bodis with Scott Malcolm seventh, Dave Crozier in eighth, and Jason Rowe in ninth, car 007 heading the rear of the Kias. Into the Mustangs, we've got Michael Hall on pole position, Club 73 Touring Car Championship champion for another season. Stephen Baxter starting in 2nd, John Roberts in 3rd, Andrew Whitehead 4th, Lee Berridge starting in 5th, 6th Stuart Atkinson, Chris Sherburn 7th, 8th is Robert Lundgren and Dale Green in 9th. Quite a nice entry there for the Mustang field, so we should have a nice interesting scrap in that class. And then over in the Jetters, we've got Dennis Melcher starting on pole, and then we've got Stephen Dawson starting in 2nd with Adam Hedgecock 3rd, Sean Gardner 4th, David Ayres in 5th, and starting in the back, rookie licence, the only rookie driver in the field, so we'll see how he gets on. It is Carl Hardy.
All right then, thank you very much, Adam, for that. 3 classes here. And we're ready for the start, it seems. Bit of an early going for the red lights. And the green light is on here at SnetterTON. The 100-mile race gets underway. It's a good start by Harrod. Decent one by Wood. Paul Smith looking to make a move as well. Up the inside, maybe into Riches. The first time, it's quite a fast corner, this hard right-hander. Gonna make sure you don't run out too wide on the exit. And the Montreal hairpin awaits you after that, which is turn 2. And everybody looks like they are through there okay. At least in the Kias, but let's see behind. Yeah, Adam, the Mustangs. Oh, off goes Chris Sherburn.
Ah, Chris Sherburn, who was up there in the class. You can see him right at the rear of the shot, but here comes Chris Wood for the lead. He's trying to get past Pete Harrod as we go into Brundle, the fast left-hander, and then into Nelson. Very hard corner to slow the car down, and look at the amount of curb that he took there, and that's going to allow Paul Smith to go into 2nd as we go into the bomb hole.
Yeah, and as a result, he flew up into the air, did Chris Wood. Might be able to have a go back on Paul Smith as they go into Coram, this long right-hander. And very, very difficult braking area as well at the end of that for Murray's Bend. Is, of course, a bit different from the one we get at Bathurst, but actually quite a similar profile. And Wood now right in the slipstream with Smith, Alex, as they go over the timing line for the first time.
Pulls out from the slipstream already as well, so trying to get that run down the centre straight, and yeah, heading in towards turn 1.
Just about long enough straight for the gear optima, I think, to build up some steam and build up some slipstream as well, Adam. And see if Chris Wood fancies a dabble up the inside into the Montreal hairpin. He's not going to bother this time, and it's probably a good thing, because it's not really a corner. You can have a bit of a go, but cars holding the inside, it's very difficult to pass.
Yeah, since they've changed it in 2011, the Montreal hairpin is, especially on this 200 layout, it's probably going to be a tough place to overtake. In fact, probably the first corner, if you get a decent run, could be one of our main overtaking points. Maybe even Murray's as well, but they've changed that they've reprofiled that corner as well, haven't they, since 2010. So I think I'm interested to see where the drivers are going to pick out the main overtaking points on the circuit, because I haven't really run this 200 layout much, really. I think I might have run it on Project Cars 2 once back in the day.
I don't think, yeah, and we are on Facebook Live tonight as well, by the way. So hello everybody that's watching us there. Yeah, Alex, I think that you would normally get some overtaking into Murray's, but in a front-wheel drive car, it's very difficult, because the only chance you'd really have is to try and scoot round the outside, but then have the inside for the tight left-hand.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. The car's just going to want to understeer all through that whole sector, isn't it? So it's going to be very, very difficult indeed.
Look at Stephen Baxter. He's right on the back of Michael Hall. So Hall's qualifying prowess, where he's 0.6 of a second quicker than everybody else, soon been erased by the boosted motorsport car of Baxter. And Baxter, only if he'll have a go into the Montreal hairpin, thinks about it. Hall very late on the brakes, as all the CQR drivers tend to be. But Baxter, it's a good run, and Hall loses the rear, and he just about keeps it. And that was essential for Michael Hall to not spin the car there, because that could have been his chances of winning gone. But as it stands, he's not lost out too badly, just a couple of seconds.
Well, I thought he was gone then for a brief moment, but he was able to somehow hold on to it. Obviously, Michael Hall moving over from the Kia to the Mustang. Don't know how much practice he's got in the car, but he must have done to be able to keep hold of that. And while Stephen Baxter has gained a little bit of time, he's been able to stay in 2nd place, Michael Hall.
Yeah, he was Jetta champion in season 1, was Michael Hall, and then he was Kia champion in season 2, and season 3.
Yeah.
He's won twice, Michael Hall, in the Kia, and he's going to see if he can win in a 3rd different car in this championship. The Mustang, from experience, it does. It is a bit of a boat of a thing, Alex, but it does have that little snap under acceleration. Sometimes when you get the power down, it feels like it's actually got some grunt.
Yeah, it tends to happen when the car you go into it.
Robert's
corner's
going
just a
through on
tiny
Whitehead.
little bit hot, and you get a bit of understeer going in, as we're just watching that battle that you were talking about. And yeah, you get on the power, and then it sort of goes from sort of understeer to snap oversteer in a blink of an eye. And I think that's probably what happened to Hall there as well. Andrew's teammate Berridge comes and gives him a helping hand around the corner there.
And there was a little tap from Atkinson as well, Adam, on the back of Lee Berridge's car, number 713, and he's got the run actually, Berridge. A decent toe from Andrew Whitehead, and see if you can parlay that into an overtaking move into Brundle.
Well, he's
painful.
Well, Atkinson's tries to give his team a boost, and it's pretty close there going into Brundle there. As Berridge is in the blue, boosted car, and off goes
Roberts.
Whitehead. So is it Roberts? It's Roberts, sorry, John Roberts.
Spins.
John Roberts, who was sitting in third place in class.
Right in front of not Chris Sherburn, that is Dale Green. He doesn't in the Gone Road racing car. Yeah, indeed. Maple Leaf on the top of the car.
Oh no, what's happened to Mark Woodhouse? He's off at the first corner, and he looks like he's hit the wall as well.
Oh, that looks like a big one for Woodhouse.
Well,
did he lose the rear?
It looks like
it's a hardware failure.
Yeah, he had connection. Yeah, he had issues. Now we saw a massive crash here in a BSB race a few years ago. It looks like they've shortened the runoff area there.
Yeah, now there is a fast repair if Woodhouse can get going again, but we'll see. He might not be completely out of this race. 50 laps, then it's going to take them just under an hour, Alex. And as we're told, there is a pit stop that's got to be made. You don't have to take any tyres or fuel, but it's just whether you need them or not. It might be quite close.
Yeah, from the information that we get from the admins, I think the fuel almost definitely is going to be required. But yeah, tyres not necessarily the key thing. So you know, I think drivers probably still would with an hour stint. It'll still be quicker, I think.
Well,
so
it's slightly cooler track as well than average. So Stuart Atkinson absolutely mounting the curve at Nelson, absolutely hammering it. But yeah, so maybe a bit more fuel used, Alex, a bit faster laps slightly out there.
Yeah, possibly. Usually the cooler weather does that, and it will save the tyres as well. So, but I still think in an hour race they're still going to opt to change those.
Pete Harrod leads by 0.8 of a second, Adam, and got a good lead down the main straight here, or the back straight here, which I think did used to be called the Revit Straight, but I think they've changed the name now, have they?
It's the Bentley Straight now, yeah.
Bentley Straight now, yeah.
Yeah, it takes us back to the, well, for you, Toka 1, Toka 2, me, Toka race driver, but yeah, the old SnetterTON circuit we're kind of using today, but yeah, good start by Pete Harry. He hasn't been able to fully escape his CQR, well, in the BSRTC, his CQR colleague in Paul Smith. Paul's been lapping some pretty decent laps, only about a tenth of a second or so away from Pete Harrod, and with the slipstream down the likes of the Senna Straight and the Bentley Straight, being able to keep in touch with Pete Harrod. So I think we definitely have got a race on our hands here, and Chris Wood is definitely keeping them company here in third place.
Yeah, and you can definitely see, Alex, as well, the difference between the drivers who are familiar with the circuit, I think maybe from previous experience as well, because it's a new track in terms of iRacing to pretty much everybody. Even if they have driven it before, they won't have maybe done much racing around here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, a couple of us had to buy the track, didn't we, today?
Yeah,
so
we all did, I think.
Okay, all three. So yeah, it's just a case of, I think you know, you go to these places when you need to, and we haven't really been anywhere, you know, where we've needed to sort of do that this season apart from here. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see it, but I think most of these guys are good enough that, you know, give it sort of 10-15 laps and they're going to be pretty much up to speed.
It's a great track though. It's one of my favourites, and always a good one to drive. I think it's one of the better tracks to drive, Adam, with like low-powered cars. I remember on Project Cars 1, some single-seater racing around here was a lot of fun because it's just that kind of circuit as somebody's off actually.
Yes, Carl Hardy, the rookie, off at the final corner. Murray's.
That is a bit of a mess at VW Jetta. He needs to come into the pits.
Guys, sorry, I've got to
something's
interrupt.
happened.
What the heck has just happened there?
It's Michael Hort. Oh no, it's not. It's
in and around.
What's happened?
Something went on with the Kias, and I think Robert, not the Kias, the
Mustangs.
The Jettas, sorry.
Okay.
So the lead Jettas, they were being overtaken by Robert Lundgren, who obviously was covering from his spin. So let's find Robert. and go back and
Oh,
do a bit of a
I've seen
replay.
it. Oh,
I
he's
just think it's the Jetta is so much quicker through the corners that
Yeah.
actually he gets
rear-ended.
by down the straight, but
Yeah.
then he gets collected.
Robert
Basically,
Lundgren meet Stephen Dawson. Yeah.
You know what? Basically, right, Lundgren, he went for something too ambitious, went up the inside, missed the corner, and then was so slow on the apex he got hit up the rear by Stephen Dawson.
Well, here comes.
So we say he got hit up the bomb hole. Not quite at the bomb hole.
Maybe
though.
not at the bomb hole. At the bomb hole, I should say.
Oh dear.
I told you someone would do it.
It was worth it
it
just for that.
I've had 8 pints, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, dear.
Speech is not as good as it was. Going on to the front straight, then here come the Kias to lap the
Not
start
gonna go
of the Jettas. It's Pete Howard's got a half a second advantage now over Paul Smith, and especially if they're lapping the Jettas through corners like this, like Rich's, his first corner, this could allow Paul to really close up on Pete.
Yeah, I think Smith is a little bit quicker now. He's not got the attentions from behind of Chris Wood, or at least not quite as close. Into the Montreal hairpin there, Howard goes a little bit deep, but he gets a nice exit. That allows him to get on the power well, and they should be able to usurp at least the Mustang here, and possibly the Mustang into Brundle. Howard definitely gets through. Is Smith going to get through into Brundle as well? It looks like he is. Good commitment by Smith. Oh, is it too much? Got to get it slowed down for Nelson. And yeah, just about managed it. Adam, I think that time.
That was probably like the not kill line, I think, going through the chicane where you take this huge amount of curve. But yeah, now that'd be a good track to see on iRacing. Paul Smith through into that position.
Cars will spend more time in the air than they would on the circuit. But Smith hugging really the inside line in Coram. And that's really what you've got to do. I think you've got to stay as far over to the right, because it's essential, Alex, and this is why it makes it such a tough corner. It's essential that you open up Murray's Bend and get the best exit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the track map just to make sure I know. Still learning the track myself, you know. But yeah, and again, we talked about it earlier on, didn't we? With the front wheel drive, the understeer that you get through there, so critical. And the slipstream's pretty heavy in these cars as well. So yeah, one mistake there and it's going to be costly.
I think you're right. They're already putting a lap on then after just over 11 minutes. Just going to see then, so Pete Harrod's going down the back straight, and yeah, he's actually managed to get a good advantage, and he's got a car between himself and Paul Smith. What, Alex, if we can, I was going to, I know you're not that familiar with the track, so I'm just going to maybe go through a lap with Pete Harrod, see what that we can do. If you can get me onto there on board, then I can take it from there.
Do it, we're on board.
Here we go then, into Murray's Bend, as far over to the right hand side as you can. Clip the apex, run a little bit wide, use that AstroTurf on the exit, is your friend. And over the start finish line then for Pete Harrod to start lap 11 of the race then. Past the timing line and into Rich's. Quite a fast corner, this will be at least third gear in this Kia Optima, but then you've got to hold the inside because the track does narrow on the exit, and then it's the run towards the Montreal hairpin. Very hard on the brakes, about 150 metres. Turn it in, maybe clip the curb on the inside to let the car just be pulled round by it. Open up the left-hander and onto the Bentley straight then. There's nothing really to do here, just to sit and wait and contemplate how you're going to tackle Brundle. And how you do that, well, you do it with a bit of fear in your eyes and in your heart, because it's a fast corner. You've got to turn in, you can see him correcting the wheel, he takes the inside curb, and then avoid the big sausage curb in Nelson, because we saw what happened when you hit it too hard. Then into the bomb hole, the camber helps you, you throw it in, you've got plenty of space on the exit. He uses all of that, nicely done, and then through Coram on the inside. Opens up the middle, square off the exit a little bit, nicely done, all the way over to the right hand side. Clip the apex again in Murray's, use the AstroTurf, and that'll be a lap of Snetterton. And what a fun lap it is, Adam.
Really good, enjoyable lap there by Pete Howard. I was watching Paul Smith as well, just behind him, and he was following all the way through. In fact, I just realised while we were doing that on-board lap that the reason why the Turn 2, the Montreal hairpin, is called that is because it's pretty much exactly the same as the Montreal hairpin on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So there we go.
Ooh. It doesn't quite have that exit though, does it? You know, it doesn't quite have that. Oh, I suppose it does on the other circuit though. On the 300, it's got a bit more of a a longer exit for drivers to use cutbacks and things like that.
I think that's why it was renamed, wasn't it? Because it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't that before on this layout. It was, what was it?
Just a right-hander.
It was like the. Did they call it the? Was it Seat or something like that?
I'll look back on that for you, Alex.
As Smith hits the curb really hard and goes flying onto two wheels again. Yeah, it was just a right-hander. It was just a medium.
Sorry, it was Seat corner, wasn't it? So that was
used
the
to have.
difference.
Do you remember? It used to have that giant tarmac runoff area on the, like, concrete runoff on the left-hand side, and people used to go ridiculously wide.
Do you remember that British touring car race where we had the LPG powered Ford Focuses and they were just absolutely destroying everybody on the straight?
I do remember that. It was that was about 2008, 9 was it, or something like that? Yeah. It was,
late noughties.
Was it when Matt Jackson was in it?
Tom Chilton and Tom Onslow Cole, I think.
Yeah. And they just had so much power. It was ridiculous. Does anybody still use LPG?
Not anymore. I think it might have been outlawed, from that season.
No,
onwards.
I don't just mean in racing. I just mean in general. You don't tend to hear about it, do you, Alex? These days.
No, I don't think
all
so.
Electric or petrol still, isn't it?
Liquefied petroleum gas.
There you go.
Learn
something new every day.
Bit of chemistry for people there.
Paul Smith, by the way, is developing some nice chemistry with this SnetterTON circuit. And he's hunting down Pete Harrod. Seems like Harrod's just a little bit better in the traffic, Alex, and that seems to be what's helping him out at the moment.
Yeah, I think good that he's right there, though, Smith, in with a shout. Of course, Paul's doing a stream as well, so don't forget to go check that out. Say hello on there. But yeah, good.
Getters in the pits. Dennis Melcher is in. Sorry, Alex. And Stephen Dawson's in from second place as well. It's a much better stop for Melcher, and he comes out. He only had about a second lead, I think, before they came into the pits. It's now about 4 seconds.
Yeah, 21.8 against 24, so yeah, quite a margin there as well.
Going to come out right in the middle of a big old Kia battle as well.
A little bit quicker.
But David Ayres, David Ayres.
They've all pitted actually, so they're all in pretty early.
David Ayres has leapfrogged Adam Hedgecock, it looks like. Ayres now up into 4th in class and Hedgecock down to 5th.
Adam Hedgecock not having the best run here at SnetterTON. It's not his strongest circuit, after he's very strong actually at Autodromo Nazionale Monza the other week.
Quite amazing, really. Yeah, you go from Monza to Norfolk in the space of a few weeks.
That's the beauty of iRacing, I guess, isn't it? And the thing is, it's funny because it's not too dissimilar a challenge, really, Alex, is Monza to SnetterTON in terms of the corners are fairly sort of well defined and not many corners follow one after the other.
No, you're right. Certainly this layout anyway. You've got some breathing time, haven't you, between them? But
obviously it's about half the length, but it's still sort of a similar kind of I think a similar kind of test.
Yeah, I think so. This particular version definitely, with the new section that they added into it, there's a lot that does lead one into the other pretty much. So a little bit less time to think about them. But
for me, this is the best SnetterTON though. This is the one I remember from the back of the day. Do you remember the night races they did here?
I don't personally know. I'm not.
Oh, Adam will.
I'll have to go back. Yeah, I do remember them.
Well, you won't remember it. You might be too young, but
I've watched them back. Yes.
The night races here were absolutely tremendous. It was the first time it was really done in touring cars.
They're bringing it back, aren't they? Yeah, for next season.
I absolutely would love that.
Just for a one-off, isn't it, to celebrate the 60th anniversary from?
That's just going to be a longer race, isn't it? Some 60-lap race, 60-mile race. Sorry, I think.
Yeah, something like
about
that. Yeah,
half an hour. About half an hour race, I think. Who's that?
It's Stephen Baxter and Stuart Atkinson as well. Stuart Atkinson.
Well, and Baxter. Oh yeah, Baxter.
Change for a lead that is as well then, because Hall's got himself through, so costly for Baxter.
Yeah, it's just Baxter, isn't it? What's he done?
Oh, it was a Kia. It was car 007.
It wasn't a Kia. Baxter just went off on his own.
Oh, I'm talking about Stuart Atkinson. Sorry.
Oh, I was on about Baxter. Sorry.
Atkinson had a spin on the exit of the onshore hairpin. I think it might have been helped by Jason Rowe.
Because Baxter was in the lead, Adam. Sorry, that's why I was saying that. It's all right. Michael Hole's in the pits, by the way, Alex, and in that CQR car.
Yeah, good time to pit, I guess. Just got himself to the lead. So yeah, Baxter sort of went grass cut in there, didn't he? Just for a little bit, just to try and regain some sort of position in the track. So, he didn't lose too much time there, so still in with a shout.
Long stop for the Mustang, Adam.
Yeah, he's gone for that Skoda Green, hasn't he? The CQRS line car there, Michael Hall. Yeah, 22 seconds stop, 23.5 actually, as he gets off the jacks and away. He should rejoin in about 6th, 7th position in class.
I think
should
he's
just be ahead of Chris Sherburn.
Yeah, he's only ahead of Chris Sherburn, but to be honest, that's not too bad considering, like I say, he's the only one really who's been into the pits. Lee Berridge is still out there as well. And we haven't really mentioned the little battle in the Kia that we've got here, about 2 or 3 seconds apart, and that's Dave Crozier in 7th place, just behind Scott Malcolm actually. And then Jason Rowe in 8th place. So those three separated by, like I say, only 3 seconds. And really in the middle, it's Tristan Bodice kind of in no man's land, just on his own, really.
Too wide actually in the Kias. We've got Chris Wood and Michael Evdoka going wheel to wheel here for a position. This is over 3rd and 4th going into Riches. Should be Chris Wood with the inside, but Evdoka's saying no to that.
Outside. And he's not going to have the high ground though. This is the thing. It's the problem for him into the Montreal hairpin. What sort of line do you take here? He's going to try and go around the outside. That is not going to work. And you could see that one a mile off, I think.
Good exit though.
Yeah, very good exit. He's got a nice run here. I wonder if he'll be able to have a go into Brundle. Which side do you take into Brundle, Alex, do you reckon? You reckon you take the inside or the outside for Nelson?
It's a tough one. I think you could attack both ways, really.
Well,
that makes it
easy. What's gone on there? What has happened to Chris Wood? That is a strange incident for Wood.
I don't know.
Like he missed the break-ins.
By a long, but he looked really it was really odd.
Into the pit lane come Andrew Whitehead and Stuart Atkinson, both boosted cars, both getting a bit of boost in tyre wear soon. Or maybe a reduction in tyre because they're going to be getting new tyres in their Mustangs. Away they go.
It just didn't turn in. He turned the wheel as
you're locking the brakes.
Yeah, probably a lock-up. You know, probably lock the fronts or something like that going in there. And
didn't see any smoke though. But yeah, it was a weird one. Like I say, he turned in as normal. The thing just did not do anything.
Into the pits now as well, so decided that's enough.
Yeah, maybe he's had enough of those tyres, which maybe I wouldn't be surprised after that. Actually, Scott Malcolm is in as well, as is Jason Rowe, as is Baxter as well.
You can just see where Chris Wood is pitting to the left of him. If I'm looking on the same camera angle, you can just see the podium that we've got. Not as luxurious as some of the podiums we see in the F1 and the MotoGP, but I wonder if anybody will be standing on that after this one.
Well, Stephen Baxter, we hoping it's still him. The CQR car of Michael Hall is coming out of Murray's Bend, and Baxter's going to have to get going quickly if he wants any chance of this lead. He does get going quickly, but it's 65 kilometres an hour until that line, and through goes Michael Hall, and he retakes the lead.
Yeah, Stephen Baxter should slot in 2nd place, but yeah, there is quite a bit of a gap between the two of them now, isn't there? About 6 or 7 seconds.
He's hoping to be the first man, Michael Hall, incidentally, in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship to win in all 3 categories, which has never been done.
Another title to his name, isn't it? Yeah, into the pits, as Alex is saying. Yeah, Pete Howard and Paul Smith. And
battle on the pit lane then between Smith and Harrod.
Right, Pete Howard may have just had to adjust the car in the pit box. That may cost him a little bit of time. See what happens.
That'll help Smith anyway. They're going to take 4 tyres there. I think that's sensible.
Oh, you can see how Tristan Bodice had to try and get the car into the pit box. That's not ideal, is it?
No, and
somehow it managed to register that was in though.
32 laps to go here when they leave the pits.
Wait and see who's going to get out. It's a long
time is long for
very long, yeah.
Well, they've got to fill it up by jerry can. Remember, we used to cover that in the
VLN, yeah.
The VLN. Look at Tristan Bodice, dear me. That's Giancarlo Fisichella Malaysia 2001 parking is that. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah, they've got to fill it up by jerry can. iRacing have very cleverly even simulated the pause between when they've emptied one jerry can and need to get the other one, and that's what they've done there, and that's why it means such a long stop, and it might bring some of the other classes into play, maybe even in terms of the result. As Harrod, I think if they'd have had to pit more than one time, Alex, they might have even been at risk of the maybe the Mustangs.
Yeah, possibly.
The Mustangs have lost quite a lot of time in this 25 minutes.
Everyone's pitted now as well for the for the Kias, and they're all still well ahead. So yeah,
I think because it's mostly straights as well. It's just straights and long corners. It's everything. It's everything the Mustang hates, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's one of the. Despite it being one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, Adam, it's actually one of the bigger discrepancies between all the classes, really.
We'll give you a detailed example of that. We've got the Mustang, we've got the Kia, sorry, doing times of 1:13, so just over 70 seconds around the circuit, similar to the times we were seeing in the F1 at Mexico today. And then we've got the Mustangs doing 1:18, so already about a 4 or 5 second difference a lap, and that's by the quickest guys in the field. And then we've got the Jettas doing 1:21, so nearly a 10-second difference between them. So that's why we're seeing such a disparity there.
Yeah, 1:18 was the fastest lap of the F1 race, I think, maybe a 1:17. So, how far they can go in that time on the massive Hermanos Rodriguez circuit. You can see then we need to give the Jettas a bit of love, I think, because we've not really done that so far. Although having said that, they haven't really provided us so far with that much to
love about.
To really love out there on the circuit. Dennis Melcher with the lead over Stephen Dawson is about 3 seconds.
Yeah, they got 3 seconds there. Sean Gardner has a 2-second advantage over Adam Hedgecock, so that's between 3rd and 4th. And 3 seconds back between Hedgecock to David Ayres in 5th. And then it's about half a minute to Carl Hardy, who we saw off in the wall earlier on. So a bit of a gap between all of the Jettas. Hopefully that will come back down towards the end of the race. At the moment, the closest battle on the track between them is about 2 seconds. So not too much to be watching in that class at the moment.
No, and we've just got about we're almost at half distance, so 21 laps. Then we're just starting lap 21. Sorry, in the Kias, Pete Harrod over the line, then just 3/10 ahead of Paul Smith, and then
good
there's
lap by Paul. Yeah,
4.5 seconds to Chris Wood. He's going to be right in the slipstream now, Alex, as they go down the Bentley straight. So this hairpin.
Yeah, indeed, and I think
Harrod nearly hitting the Mustang. That's going to give Smith a chance, I think.
Got a great opportunity here. Both cars obviously getting a bit slipstream as they go past Hall.
Wow,
I was just noting while we're watching this as well that Baxter's been in twice. While he was competing for a potential win in this Mustang field, I think that's gone away. So I don't know what quite happened for Baxter there.
I think Harrod has got the car really trimmed out because Smith was right in the slipstream and he only gained about 1 car's length.
Yeah, he barely closed at all there, did he? So
Jason
faster
Rowe,
in the twisty bits.
Jason Rowe is off oh dear, he's had a crash with a Mustang in the first corner. That's what's happened to Jason Rowe. He collided with John Roberts, the king of the ring.
Oh.
And it looks like that Jason Rowe could either be facing a trip to the pit lane or something of sorts, because the car is not looking too good at all.
I know that we weren't. I don't think were we around for the King of the Hill?
Bathurst?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know who won that one. I can't remember who won that one.
Oof. Now you're talking.
Because it was definitely John Roberts at the Nürburgring.
He did broadcast it, I know that much. I might see if there's any way of tracking that down for you. I'll have a look through the leagues. I'll have a look at the YouTube race. Give me 2 minutes.
There you go.
Got something else for you to track down as well, Adam. Why do they call it Bomb Hole Corner?
I will check that up for you as well. I'll be back in a minute.
It's got to be something to do with like the war or something.
I
surely.
could be wrong. I think they might have found an unexploded bomb or something when they built the circuit, or maybe something like that. I used to know
someone's
it.
just smoking some serious good stuff and just decided to call
No,
it
it says bomb hole, not bong hole.
No.
Dear me. Through the last... Through Coram they go then.
I can tell you that the winner of the King of the Hill is Dave Baker. He won the King of the Hill at Bathurst.
Dave Baker, that's random.
And I will go check for you now a SnetterTON bomb hole reference.
Go. But Harrod
Green and Whitehead very close. Sorry.
It's alright. Whitehead and who? Green?
Green
yes.
side by side.
Green up the inside then. For the for what is 4th in the Mustangs. That was easy, wasn't it? For Dale Green, Andrew Whitehead not fighting that one at all into Brundle. And through the aforementioned bomb hole, but it's a great corner that. It's fast, it's got the camber. You know, you really can't chase the lap time through there.
Yeah, and it leads itself for some good puns as well, you know?
That's it. There we go then, lap 23. Oh dear me. Lap 23 here at SnetterTON. We nearly got a... Pete Harron nearly got a face full of Jetta there.
Okay, it is a play on words. The bomb hole, just having a look on the actual SnetterTON website.
Is it a dangerous play on words, or is it one we can say on the air?
It is a name that I mentioned earlier on by the slip of the tongue. But it says course commentator Norman Greenway could not use that name. So in the early 80s, the bomb hole was born as approach to a piece of human anatomy.
What? So it was called the bum hole corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give you some context to that.
I mean, we can't beat that at all, can we? I thought there's me thinking it's something to do with the war.
Yeah,
It's
in
just
19...
Oh yeah, that was someone smoking some good
That'll just do it. That just say no more, I think, on that one. Somebody's locked up into Brundle. Oh, it's Stuart Atkinson. Oh dear. Having the best of times out there, Stuart Atkinson.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's having to let some of the Kias through now. That's Paul Smith and our leader Pete Harrod both going through now. The gap's still 0.3 of a second between those two as the race continues.
Go wide through the bomb hole or through Corum. There'll be a lot of marbles out there already as well after the 1 hour and 30 minutes of practice and the 15 minutes of qualifying.
So basically, where the bomb hole corner was, that was where the east and the west runways met, and
so
they
it was an
decided
airfield. Okay.
Yes, so they decided to fix that problem by creating a slightly banked corner, and because the motorbike races that took place around the circuit found it such a great challenge, they decided basically the track fell off. They decided to call it the bum hole, and the commentators called it the bomb hole.
Because they were clenching their buttocks.
Basically, yeah.
Going through it, maybe. Oh, there you go then. There you go. Well, I mean, usually the best explanation is the most vulgar one, so excellent. Paul Smith, here we go. Paul Smith for the lead. Here we go. There might be some clenched buttocks going on in a minute in the in Pete Harrod's car.
Pete Harrod's definitely messed that up, hasn't he?
Smith's going for the cutback. Here we go then. Through the bomb hole. Oh, look at that commitment. That's brilliant. Now Harrod's going to have... Alex, this is what we were talking about earlier on. If he can stay on that outside line, which he can't, he would have had the inside for Murray's Bend.
Yeah, that was pretty much what we thought, wasn't it? You're just not going to be able to hold it around there.
Not in this car, anyway. If it was a high downforce car such as the McLaren, Alex, you might have had a chance.
Yeah, I would have thought no problem whatsoever to stick it through there. So,
well, Paul Smith takes the lead then on lap 26 of the race, just over half race distance. And to finish the history lesson, SnetterTON Airfield was never attacked or bombed during the Second World War.
No, but it may have been bummed.
Oh.
And we will just leave it there, ladies and gentlemen.
You were drinking as well.
Nope. Not
since yesterday.
Not since last night. No, not since the early hours of the morning. Here comes Pete Harrod then, trying to get the lead back from Paul Smith, and Smith has to defend the inside into Brundle, and off goes Dale Green. He's lost 2 positions there. Oh no, he's getting lapped. Sorry, Dale Green.
Oh, that's really going to hamper Pete Harrod, isn't it? They're going around the outside of the bomb hole.
And Dale Green's had such a fantastic season. He won the category, Adam, didn't he? And now he's miles off the pace. Yeah,
we have had a few additions to the Mustang category, haven't we? So the Canadian Dale Green, he hasn't had a good run, should we say, in this non-championship race. But
no,
that being said, he has gained 5 positions during this race. That has been due to the demise of quite a few drivers, but yeah, he's still doing a pretty good job.
Another good battle out there as well. Just popped it up on the screen, and that's between Berridge and Roberts, so the 2 teammates. Roberts obviously recovering from his early spin that he had.
Speaking of the demise of some drivers, we've only actually lost 2. We've lost Jason Rowan, we've lost Mark Woodhouse.
Both of them Kias.
Yeah, so I mean, well, that's just normal, isn't it? Really. Let's be honest. We're down to 7 Kia Optimas. And we might be down to 5. It depends on how it goes between Harrod and Smith.
Nothing for Jason Rowe.
Rondell, and I think Harrod might have just nudged him. It's a tricky braking area anyway.
The annoying thing for Jason Rowe is that the reason why he's probably out of the race is because he'd already made his pit stop and probably took his fast repair at that same time. So when he had that crash earlier, just after his first round, just after his first pit stop, he probably wasn't able to use it. So that's why he's out of the race.
That makes sense. Yeah, I reckon that's probably what's happened to Jason Rowe. Car 666 is still going out there. That is David Ayres, and he's getting lapped by the leaders. Speaking of the leader of the Mustangs, it's Michael Hall. And actually, Lee Berridge isn't even at the Montreal hairpin, Alex. That's how far ahead Michael Hall is.
Sorry, guys. Just reading some chat on Facebook there.
I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes.
What's going on?
But Ayres, you were talking about, weren't you? Sorry.
No, I wasn't at all.
Oh,
well, I was for briefly.
No idea.
But I was saying basically that Berridge is behind. Michael Hall's in front of Berridge by basically the whole of Norfolk. He's miles in front of him.
35.7 seconds.
Yeah,
huge at the minute.
Basically, after Baxter had his issues, there's been nobody anywhere near Michael Hall really. Baxter must have had something else go on after the pit stops as well, because yeah, he's absolutely nowhere, is he?
Yeah, we
he's
did
2
see
laps
him
down
that.
actually.
It looked like a second. It looked like a second stop or something. So I don't know if it was speeding on the way out or. Really
21 second stop, Alex. So could that be a 20-second stop bang on? Yeah.
Oh, Paul Smith.
Could have been.
Paul Smith almost. He's going to have it out with Lee Berridge. Well, nearly anyway, because Berridge. Very tough braking area to sort out there, and now John Roberts is trying to get past Lee Berridge. Berridge nearly hit the here leader in Smith.
Yeah, they're just going down the front straight, which, as well as the centre straight, we could probably call it cameraman straight after that cameraman got literally sent to the ground after that enormous crash in the British touring cars last year.
Definitely does his own stunts, that guy. But look,
I suppose.
Tell you what, in all seriousness, that was a really, really scary one. That could have been so much worse for everybody involved. That was a huge crash.
I had the fortune of speaking to the British touring car commentator David Addison last year, and he said that was the cameraman's first race meeting doing the British Touring Car Championship.
First and only, probably after that.
Yeah, probably.
One.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been seen since.
Well, do we know actually if he has? Do we know if he did go back after?
I don't think he did. I don't think he's actually been seen since. Oh. So there we go.
I would have thought if it had been. You know, I think some people would have been like, right, get me back out there again. That was brilliant. And then some people would be like, nope, not for me.
Yeah, his wife probably just said never again.
The only cameraman who's been in such danger as that recently was. Do you remember in China when Buemi's wheels fell off and that camera and that wheel went flying towards the camera? That was
Maldonado. Maldonado at Monaco. I'm sure the cameraman did a runner there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, with Chilton, was it?
Yeah, in 2013. Yeah. And there was that GP2 one as well.
Look at Harrod. Sorry, he's having a look into the hairpin, but Smith's far enough in front. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. Good exit by Harrod. Fantastic exit by Pete Harrod. It's going to be right in the slipstream here, Alex. And with that, what looks like less downforce than Smith, it looks like he's got a chance into Brundle.
Yeah, I am paying attention this time as well. So yeah, good run. He's going to have to. I'm sure he's going to get the overlap. He's not. So be late on the brakes.
Well, I must admit, though,
he's piling the pressure on now, though, isn't he, as well? So these guys have been pretty much very even on pace the whole race. So I'm not surprised to see them still at it even after.
No, that's
traffic where you don't need it.
That wasn't particularly clever by Smith, there, was it? He must have underestimated the Jetta there. Oh, and Harrod loses the rear. The rear through the back end of Coram.
That Jetta was Carl Hardy there. Baptism of fire, really, in the Jettas.
He didn't really do anything wrong at all there, did Hardy. He was just in the wrong place. He was just at Smith. Yeah, must have got spooked by something. I think Halloween is on the horizon, but bit of a spooky incident for Smith.
Smith's lead now 0.8 of a second. He was the quickest of anybody on that last lap, 14.2 compared to Harrod's 14.9. But they're siving their way through the traffic now. They're just getting past there the Jetta of Stephen Dawson. That's probably put another lap there on the man who currently sits second in the Jetta class. not too far away, and they'll be getting to Dennis Melcher, who is the leader. The gap between first and second in the Jetters is 5 seconds now after the pit stop, as Melcher makes a bit of a mistake going through Nelson's. Again, Paul Smith and Pete Howard still pretty close as they go into the bomb hole now.
Yeah, Adam, if you just sent us a link. I've just had a little look at that, and if you just explain what you saw there, I mean, that was a tremendous. Oh, here we go, Howard on the inside through Coram into Murray's, and Smith has to take to the outside line. That was very nearly a big surprise move and nearly a very well done attempt, Adam. By Pete Howard.
He had an opportunity there. I was going to say that the Murray's probably isn't the best overtaking spot on the course. I remember Plato and Neil having a go there back when it was a different profile, nearly just over 10 years ago now. And yeah, he was trying something there, but it nearly worked.
Those big serrated curbs, didn't it, on the inside?
It was a chicane, wasn't it, back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now it's off goes Robert Lundgren.
Robert Lundgren there. Does seem to have a few offs, Lundgren, but he's been a lot better recently. But he just needs to find that consistency, I think, Alex, to really sort of challenge in the midfield here.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why he can't, to be fair. He's
Seen him in the V8.
Had some good runs.
He has a bit of issue though with like I say, the with the incidents. I think as Harrod and Smith again. I think the slipstream. I think they're very evenly matched. I think the slipstream though is just keeping them together as Harrod tries to find that magic line again around the outside of Coram. Couldn't get it that time, but he got a great exit out of Murray's, Alex, and he has a shot down the front straight. We don't see this very often.
Yeah, this time surely gonna get this run into turn 1.
Oh,
he didn't quite get there in the end, could he?
Maybe trying for the hairpin, Adam. Oh, he's on the inside. Look at. Oh, he gets a lot of the inside curb. Maybe we're gonna have a go into Montreal now, again too far back.
Good lap by Harrod on that last lap, 13.7. That's the quickest it's been in quite a while, and one of the few drivers to get into the 13s on that last lap. Paul Smith to the 14.0. Now can Pete Howard get down the front straight? Down the back straight. The gap 3 tenths of a second. It's down to 2. It's going to be down to 1, but now they're coming up to that Michael Hall, the Mustang leader, as they go into Brundles. No way through there, and again it might be another lap. As Michael Hall does the sensible thing, really, the only thing he could do, and get onto the grass and get out of the way.
Yeah, that still really, really close then through the bomb hole into Coram again. These laps coming through very, very quickly now. Harrod might try this again. He feathers the brake. If he just releases it at the right time, he might be able to throw it up the inside. He thinks about it. He saw the car just twitch as he considered the overtake up the inside, Alex, but just not quite having the confidence or even the grip on that Kia Optima.
Yeah, it was interesting the last lap. Even if he does get out the inside, I feel like he's never going to get the run out of there anyway. So that
it's
was
absolutely throw it in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a good enough test. He knows now that the only chance it's going to be useful is on the very last lap or something like that.
I think he needs it. This is going to sound bad, but it's what it is. I think he does need to run into him to make it work.
Through there, yeah, that's the only way.
Only like door to door would do. Well, that's it, and really, Rich's is a good overtaking opportunity when you get a good run, and also into Brundle. Thinks about it, but there's no braking area really for Brundle. The downshift really, as Harrod absolutely flies over the curb at Nelson, and nearly as high as Nelson's column there, Adam, as he bounces over that sausage curb, the sleeping policeman.
Getting some drop frames, guys. So just back in a second. I'll stay with this battle for the moment.
Well, I think we're going to have to stay with it because I think it's the best battle on the circuit by far.
Well, while Alex goes, I was just going to...
It's a little bit of understeer, sorry.
Running a little bit wide. I was just going to say that the video I sent to you, was just another example of a brave cameraman. But
no, I watched it. I was just describing it, but I'm going to give you the chance to describe it for everybody. But
it was a British. You might remember it from a few years ago in the British Superbikes. A bike going off on the entry into Druids. Really weird how I've never seen a bike go off going into that left-hander, but he went off and gave the cameraman a bit of a surprise. Bit of a brave cameraman, that should be said. Michael Avdoka, by the way, coming into the pits for a second time.
You may not have plugged enough fuel. He has done a very, very good. Well, you know what? That's why he was doing such a very good second half of the race, wasn't it? Because he didn't put enough juice in it. That will explain that will explain that as he comes in for a second stop. Tyres going on. So yeah, more tyres for Evdoka.
More tyres, yeah. Unfortunately, that is
got
what
Malcolm in as
It's
well.
got Malcolm in as well, so I don't know whether drivers may have been caught out. It is slightly longer than our normal feature race.
Was that their first stop, or have they been?
They have been in before.
They
have been in before. Yeah.
Both of them have had. So this is the second stop for both of them. You know what? We might not be too far away then from maybe getting some more stops because
we have still got 15 laps to go. Yeah.
Because actually, Smith pitted on lap 18, and Harrod pitted
that's nowhere
on
near
the same.
halfway, is it?
Well, they
No.
pitted on the same lap, so we're going to have to come in again.
Chris Wood's in for the second time, and he's sitting in third place in class.
Oh,
so yeah, I think we're going to get a second round of pit stops here in the Kias at least, anyway.
So now Evdoka with the new tyres, you would think would be able to get on it and maybe pull away here from the leaders because he was only 5.7 seconds, I think, behind them. But he needs to get on it as well because if he has to let the leaders through, then he's going to lose so much time. He's not even going to have a chance of getting near them. This is his undercut time, isn't it? So Smith and Harrod really, I don't need to get in as quickly as possible.
Interesting to see what he can do. We'll wait and see what his outlap and all that kind of thing is for Evdoka. Been doing a pretty good job up to that point. You can see how long it takes for these Kias to stop. It was nearly a minute for the first round of pit stops. Evdoka did his as Paul Smith goes very wide through the bomb hole.
And this could be a problem now. This could be Harrod's chance. I think Smith just places the car in the middle of the track, and there's not a lot Harrod can do with that.
As Paul Smith goes the basic strategy of when you see the computer opponent come behind you, just move in front of them. That should stop them, and it worked there.
It even works for people into the pits then. Look at that little chicane. Oh, and they're really hard on the brakes, and that is super close in the pit lane. Alex, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, but we're still having lots of problems at the minute, guys. Just leave me out of it for the moment. Let me see what's going on here.
How bumpy that concrete bit of the pit lane is. They stop.
Yeah.
Our two leaders, Pete and Paul.
It's not level at all, is it? Considering it's built on an airfield. Pit building seems like it's built on a swamp or something. That
was Norwich ever famous for marshland? I'm
not sure about that, to be honest. But well, it does have the Norfolk Broads. It does have quite a big area of water. See then.
Bodice in as well in the background. You'd just be able to see.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, look, yeah, and the other GBR car. Yeah, it's Harrod versus Smith in the pits. Who's going to get out first? Harrod did have a lead. Smith did have a lead of under 0.4 of a second.
Evdoka's pit stop time was 49.5. We'll see if anyone beats that. Harrod definitely beats that.
Harrod away miles earlier than Smith. So I wonder, as we always wonder in these races, has Pete Harrod got enough fuel in it to get to the end? I assume he does, but we'll never truly know.
45 second stop for Pete Harrod, 50.7 for Paul Smith. Now, Paul Smith is usually tactically aware, so he should, and he's pretty. I'm guessing he's pretty good at mathematics as well, so he should be able to work out how much fuel he needs to get to the end. Just wondering if Pete Harrod has that same tactical nous as well. We'll find out in the next 14 laps.
And actually, they've gained about 10 seconds on Evdoka since he came into the pits as well. So he was 5.7 seconds behind. He's now 15.5 seconds behind.
Stephen, I just saw a position change in the Mustangs. I think it might have been Roberts getting past Berridge. Oh no, it's just a pretty close battle actually. This is the battle for second place in class between Berridge and Roberts, second and third. Good run by Roberts actually coming out of Murray's. The boosted car might be able to get the run on the other boosted cars we come across the straight.
You know what? Considering Roberts was facing the wrong way after just a few laps, he's done a very good middle part of the race to get in with a shout of second place. Lee Berridge has done a good job in the boosted motorsport Mustang so far. John Roberts, though, king of the ring. Well, he likes these special events, and we'll see what he can do. This one, Lee Berridge with a nice... with a helmet of a man who did do the British Touring Car Championship, Nigel Mansell. A couple of famous races for him, a couple of famous crashes as well, Adam, including one big one at Brands Hatch that he had.
Remember that one? I also remember one at Donington Park, or that might have been Tiffany Dell that had.
That was with Tiffany Dell.
Yeah, I remember that one. Well, yeah.
No, they crashed with each other, I think. And then Mansell had him by the... I think he had him by the throat at one point.
Want to check out in the reviews, I think.
But yeah, it was but then I do remember Mansell's heroics at Silverstone International Circuit in the wet weather. That was fantastic. And I think it was 1998 or 9.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly which one.
Old days
yeah,
of the final few years of the Super 2000 era.
Which was just. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love the BTCC now, and of course we've got to again extend our congratulations to Ash Sutton for winning the British Touring Car Championship. That's a crazy statement for me to be making, isn't it? Like, it doesn't even sound like it's a real statement. One of our drivers from the BSRTC and from several championships on this channel, winning the British Touring Car Championship, and up there with the likes of Jason Plato and
Roberts.
Matt Neal and
Sorry guys, Roberts and Baxter just having
and John Roberts.
an off.
We were moonlighting there. Yeah, John Roberts, an issue at the Montreal hairpin.
Oh, and do you know what? They've both had a little bit of an issue because I think he got a little nudge by Stephen Baxter, but also you had contact between Berridge and Dennis Melcher. I think it was maybe the tiniest bit of contact, but there was a bit of something. Dennis Melcher, incidentally, leads the Jetta category, so he's back in that car where he finished second in the championship in season 1.
We also have Paul Smith getting in amongst those guys as well as he tries to catch Pete Harrow towards the end of the race. Pete Harrow doing some pretty decent laps actually since he's come out of the pits, 13.8. Not as good as Chris Wood, as you'd mentioned, who has the fastest lap of the race in hand, 13.0. But yeah, Pete Harrow's using that possibly lighter fuel load to full effect here as we've got just over now 11 laps to go.
Yeah, and the lap race is obviously different to the time races in that, you know, you've got an arbitrary number now that you've got to work on. That brings a different element. Yeah, I think it does. I think we could have done with that definitely in the team race that we did. But yeah, just to finish the point, really, as much as I love the BTCC now, I think it's fantastic. The Super 2000 era was just brilliant. The manufacture of, you know, backing that there was into the series and was like some of the teams are spending a hell of a lot of money on the development of the car.
I don't mean Super 2000. That's the 21st century, isn't it? It's Super Touring.
Super Touring, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I got that wrong. I said Super 2000. I was leading you along the wrong way.
Right,
I still enjoyed the Super 2000 here. The BMW 320 SI, probably one of my favourite touring cars ever.
Yeah, there was some good stuff in that time as well.
Alpha 156. Yeah.
That was when that was before the grids started going down.
We had Alpha.
Some very good races, but now it's back, and Alfa Romeo is back next season as well.
Yeah, the usual Seat. People that played Race 07, the Chevrolet Lacetti, the Seat Leon. We had the Alpha 156, the BMWs. I think we even had a Peugeot or two down there back in the day.
That was like with the World Touring Cars, wasn't it? So
yeah, that was the World. Yeah, back when the World Touring Cars was at its peak.
When the World Touring Cars was actually good. Yeah.
Prio with Van Muller, Ricard Rydell, Tarquini, Thompson.
Well, again, touring car racing is always going to be a big part of this of the motorsport scene in this country, and got TCR coming to the UK as well. So we're gonna have some more touring car races. As Michael Hall bashes the curb at Nelson, but he's the only Mustang actually who has not been lapsed for a second time.
It looks like the Jettas are starting to get their second round of pit stops underway. Either that or Dennis Melcher's just forgotten to put enough fuel in. He's just come into the pits now, 13.4 seconds stop, and he's away.
The Jetta's very efficient. Alex, are you with us again?
They're badgering away.
Seemed like it, but Robert Lundgren, Dave Crozier, Scott Malcolm. So Scott Malcolm's managed to leapfrog Dave Crozier in the pits. The Iron Brew car. No stereotyping there at all, is there?
Iron Brew gets you through, as the advert says.
It does, aye. Yeah. Well, it gets him through past Dave Crozier as well, it appears.
I was in Scotland once, as I usually am every year, and Iron Brew floaters, and I'm sure many Scots have had them. Those are pretty decent things.
Oh, there you go. What's in that? Apart from Iron Brew.
I will.
Oh, now.
I'll send you a picture later.
Big battle in the Jettas then. And it's actually... Adam Hedgecock looks like he's taken Dennis Melcher for second place. I don't know if that's quite there. Let's have a little look at that.
Yeah, Dennis Melcher Yeah, Dennis Melcher, despite
Oh, he's off. Hedgecock's off. Into the grass.
car 13. Stephen Dawson's in, by the way. The leader of the
position then
class.
for Adam Hedgecock.
Yeah, Adam Hedgecock is now going to become the leader in class.
Yes, he does.
So this is the battle. This is technically the battle for the lead at the moment.
Then it's Melcher. Then it's Sean Gardner. Yes, so Sean Gardner in third. Do we think there's more stops to be made there?
Looks like there is. Yeah, we've just.
When did Adam Hedgecock come in? He came in on lap.
He's been on his stint now for 27 laps. He's now on lap 39. So
he came in very early, actually, lap 11.
Lap 12 then. Yeah, lap 11, lap 12.
11 he came in, so 25 laps on this this fuel load. Going to be close. I doubt he'd have misjudged it by this much to come in that early.
Very, very good lap by Paul Smith on that last lap, by the way. 1:15.2 for Pete Harris, 1:13.5 for Paul Smith. The gap down to 2.6 seconds, so he is getting there.
The Yorksman on the hunt. And Harrod trying his best to keep this lead. There must be fuel saving going on for Harrod, surely, Adam. I don't think he's putting enough in.
Either that or a bad batch of traffic.
It's the telltale sign, though, isn't it? When the lap times start dropping off, the bit of lifting and coasting maybe going on, and now Smith's only one corner behind Harrod.
Oh, a Mustang off. But I can't work out who it is. I think it might just be Robert Lundgren who's got issues. Yeah,
Is it a beige car?
Yeah, it is that kind of colour.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It looks quite nice actually. Does that? But it's not. Doesn't look so nice when it's off the track, and I think that's what happened to Lundgren at the bomb hole. And it's just before the bomb hole actually. Yeah. He's been around.
Oh!
What happened there? Did he get hit? I think he's just lost the rear coming out of Nelson.
Good news is that we're back and everything is sorted now, so it looks like the drop frames are done. Just before we go to Alex, there is a good battle going on between two Mustangs, and they are John Roberts and Stephen Baxter, car 888.
So we do apologise. We do apologise as well to the viewers who were watching on Facebook. We've had to stop the stream there, I'm afraid, but if you've come over to watch on YouTube, then thanks for that. Hope you can enjoy the last sort of how many laps? 7 laps left.
7 laps left, yeah. Looks like all the two stops have happened. It looks like the Mustangs actually may be the best car for fuel economy.
Look at the Jetters, Melcher and Hedgecock side by side.
Oh wow!
And then it's Gardner. We're almost 3 wide here. We're almost 3 wide now through Coram. Melcher's taken the lead away from Adam Hedgecock. Is Hedgecock going to try the inside into Murray's?
We've been waiting for this, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. The Jetters have finally come to the party with just a few laps left in this SnetterTON.
Good news for them is there is no incident limit, so I'm sure that that bit of grass trekking isn't going to affect them too much.
Not really. Yeah, Alex is back with us, and yeah, the Jetters giving it as good as they can at the end of the race, Alex.
This is what we want, isn't it? So, like you say, the Jetters have been a little bit, away and separated, but the pit stop strategies have brought them all back together. So, yeah, perfect little 3-way battle for the lead.
What has really interested me, just to get in there, is that Dennis Melcher's made a second visit to the pits. He leads the class. Adam Hedgecock, from what it says on my timing screen, hasn't.
No, he's just pitted once.
Adam Hedgecock's only pitted once, but yeah, he's still able to fight with Dennis Melcher at the front.
Can he get to the end? That's the question.
Been on a stint now for 30 laps.
I mean, it may not matter if he can't pass Dennis Melcher, but oh well,
look at that.
That might have just put the nail in it for Hedgecock, because Sean Gardner is up the inside.
Yeah, you put the car in the hedge.
Yeah, almost. And
Gardner's only had 1 pit stop as well, pointing out. So
1-stop strategy for them. 2-stop strategy working well for the German Dennis Melcher, who would have won the title in the Jetta in Season 1 if he didn't select the wrong car for one of the races. I'm sure he'll never, ever want to hear that again, but unfortunately it might be mentioned a few times. And of course, when you do select the wrong car, Alex, you do get disqualified because you can't run the race in the other car.
That's it, yeah, exactly. The sim won't let you back in, will it?
No.
So, yeah, gutted for Dennis on that one.
And he would have won the title, he was very close anyway.
Baxter just passes his teammate John Roberts as well. Those two continue their little battle.
Or he would have at least been very close. Michael Hall did take it in the end. What do you think about Harrod, Alex? Do you reckon he's got enough fuel in it? It looks like he's had a good lap. It looks like he's back on it again.
Yeah, 4.1 seconds. I think that what we were seeing was just traffic. It was worth pointing out that a couple of the guys in the chat were saying that they thought that Harrod was actually doing a fair amount of fuel saving when he was tucked up behind Paul, just so that he could get that quicker pit stop because of how long it does take. You know, the saving, you know, a litre here and there makes a massive, massive difference in this car. So.
Even if you just save like half a litre, it might be a second or so.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
So big difference there.
So that's well spotted on the chat, if that is indeed the case.
Whitehead into the pits for the second time.
Yeah, it looks like a mixture between 1 and 2 stop strategies going on in the Mustangs as well. So the key is definitely a 2-stop race. Everyone's come in. Adam Hedgecock in as well.
So he could not make it to the end. It will be a quick pit stop this. But it's going to be, well, it's going to be a bit of a problem in terms of finishing in the top 3, because here comes Stephen Dawson's already gone through. David Ayres is into the pits. So he can't make it either. Can Sean Gardiner make it? Can Dawson make it? That's now the question in Jetters.
Well, the Kias are about to start lap 48 of 50.
Yeah, and it's been quite a good race here. Alex, first time we visited SnetterTON, and provided us with some decent racing. But again, the mixed class doesn't always bring the best racing within the categories.
No, I think you're right. I think the track's certainly an interesting one. Makes for good racing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the full layout's like as well. It's a little bit tighter in that new section. But yeah, you never really know what you're going to get, do you? I think with the mixed class special event races, when they're a bit longer like this, sometimes they'll spread out, and other times they'll stay really, really close. But yeah, Hole dominant in the Mustang. He's had barely any airtime, so I'll just he's into the pits, so I'll just bring him up now.
Now. Okay.
That might make it a bit closer though, surely.
Berridge is coming round Coram, so I wonder if has Lee Berridge nailed the fuel, Adam?
Now this could be interesting, yeah, because we definitely haven't got long to go in this one, and Michael Hall's only just arrived in the pit stop. But now, where's Berridge going to do? Is he going to stay out? He is. So Berridge carrying on. He's going to surely take the lead. It's a very good stop from Hall, though. It could be close.
It's such a long. You know,
Michael Hall might just be able to hold on to this. You know, it's going to be very close indeed.
It will be super close. Berridge is just going to have the.
Yeah, Hall's going to hold on to it.
He's going to have the first corner of his life here. He's going to have to throw it up the inside into the Montreal hairpin if he wants to get through. Michael Hall might have just pulled off a spectacular strategy here. He's going to stay ahead of Lee Berridge, is he? Berridge is going to have the lighter car, though. He's going to have better straight line speed. But Hall's going to have better traction. Here we go, then. As Kias are on lap 49. What can Lee Berridge do? Into Brundle, can he do anything? There's a Kia up the inside, flying down the inside. That's compromised Michael Hall. Lee Berridge is trying everything he can to get through. Not got many more chances though. But again, you look at that, you can see Alex, he gets off the corner quickly because he's got a light car.
Yeah,
well, the Hall should have an equally light car.
The weights should be the same, shouldn't they? 2 laps of fuel left. That's it.
Looks quick though for Berridge at the moment.
But yeah, Hall potentially with newer tyres if he took them, but I don't think he did. 8.9 second stop, so it was just a splash and dash. That was it.
Yeah, ignore my general ignorance on that one. Yeah, in terms of fuel, that's not how fuel works, ladies and gentlemen, at all. Pete Harrod though, leading the way for 3.8 seconds. Here comes Berridge. Berridge ducked out from the slipstream. He thought about having a go into the hairpin. He's going to try the outside. He's going to cut it back to the inside. He may have a run down the straight though, Adam. It's going to be very close.
This is going to be the last lap for them as well. The leaders are right behind them.
The leaders are going to come and lap them, aren't they? Yeah, Pete Harris onto the Bentley straight now for the final time, and he's definitely going to lap Berridge and Hall.
He's going to find them though, just as Berridge might have a chance to pull out of the slipstream and have a go up the inside. Into Brundle, here comes Berridge. He's thinking about the inside. Could this be the chance to win the special event? And he hits him, but it's not worked for Lee Berridge. He's going to lose out to Baxter.
Baxter through into second place in class then.
And Harrod then.
Chris Woods overtaken of Doka as well, but here comes Pete Harrod.
Yes, all flashes the lights at Pete Harrod. Says, go on, you can go through, it's fine. Final lap then. Harrod into Murray's for the final time. Comes across, and he's going to win at Snetterton. He's going to take the win at the SnetterTON. And fantastic stuff by Pete Harrod. Brilliant. And then over the line comes Michael Hall, Adam, to take the win in the Mustangs.
Yeah, under immense pressure at the very end there. He's able to hold on. Whereabouts is Dennis Melcher? He's just coming down the Bentley straight now. Looks like he's pretty much untroubled. Sean Gardner, or maybe not actually. This is the final lap. Melcher was weaving about there on the straight. I don't know if he was just trying to find a bit
to try and get the extra fuel into the tank. I hope not.
That old tactic from the 80s, wasn't it?
Good job from Gardner to make it on the fuel though.
Yeah, only one stop. That is something that we haven't seen by pretty much anybody in the Jetters anyway. Everyone else has come into the pit stops twice.
Will he make it though? We'll see. He should do from here. Here comes Dennis Melcher, then round Coram and into Murray's. And last time, Dennis Melcher. Well, he used to be one of the kings in the Jetta category. He moved over to the Kia, but now he's back in the Jetta, and he's back to the top step of the podium. Dennis Melcher, he's going to win here just from Sean Gardner. Great job by Gardner to do a one-stop strategy, though. Chris Wood is run out of fuel on the cool-down lap.
Oh, no. Well, maybe that's... he did a 14.0 on that last lap and was able to get past Evdoka.
Where did he do that one, then? Did we get the replay of that?
It was on the last lap.
Be able to get that, Alex, do you think?
See if we can jump back and get that.
Oh, yeah, sorry to cut you off about that, Adam, on the final lap. But
it was a pretty good battle, actually. The two of them were pretty close.
Dave Crosley, look, he got Scott Malcolm near the end as well. But yeah, fantastic stuff. And in fact, while Alex is finding that, Adam, if you could take us through maybe the results.
Okay, so let's run you through the finishing order then from SnetterTON here at Snetterton. Pete Harrod takes the win, second for Paul Smith. Third place finish for Chris Wood. Next 10 seconds, have we found the replay? Or do you have to carry on?
Yeah, sorry
Okay,
guys, the overlay crashed. So you were trying to pull the results and I couldn't bring them up on screen, but we're all good, carry on.
Yeah, Harrod wins, Smith second, one named Peter, one named Paul. They win the race, and second place. Third for Chris Wood, fourth for Michael Evdoka there, getting overtaken on the final lap of the race. Tristan Bottis finishing in fifth, Dave Crozier in sixth, seventh Scott Malcolm, all seven of those gears finishing on the lead lap. Then we've got the cars in the Mustangs and the Jettas. Michael Hall takes the win there under immense pressure by Stephen Baxter then at the very end. Then Lee Berridge, John Roberts, Chris Sherburn, Andrew Whitehead as well in there. And then Stephen Baxter and Dale Green, the Canadian, finishing in the final position in the Mustangs. Then we've got the Jettas. We've got Dennis Melcher in first, winning there. Sean Gardner second. Third for Stephen Dawson. Fourth, Adam Hedgecott. Fifth for David Ayres. Sixth for Carl Hardy, the rookie. And then we've got the cars that didn't finish, well, had issues during the race, we should say. Robert Lundgren in that beige Mustang had issues. He finished a bit down the order. And then the cars that failed to finish, Jason Rowe, crash for him in the first corner with a Mustang. And it looked like the damage was too much for him to continue. And Mark Woodhouse, we're going to have to think back to what happened to him there. Because, yeah, he had severe issues during the race. He was out very early on indeed. Only survived 4 laps of this SnetterTON 100.
Right, just watching the overtake now. Sorry, guys, to interrupt you there, Andrew. But it was just down the down the back straight, side by side. Little bit of squeezing going in there into that section, but actually Wood just got the overspeed, got his nose in there, and completed the overtake. So perfect overtake on the final lap.
Perfect, and now what could possibly go wrong? I've absolutely no idea. But Adam Bath is standing by with Paul Smith. He's not a bloody admin on this, or is he? I don't know. He might be.
No wonder he does so well. Hello, Paul.
Hello there, guys.
Oh, SnetterTON, just another feather in your cap, isn't it? Of tracks winning at.
Even though he didn't win.
He didn't win. That's those 8 points again.
I can tell you, this is the alcohol
what could have possibly
people.
I set you up with a softball like that, and dear mate, it just never mind.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm saying
Paul,
right.
you were
yeah,
rubbish.
well
You finished second. What happened?
It was cold taking 5 seconds longer in a pit stop. That's what it was.
We thought you were being clever with the fuel, but yeah, what was the reason behind the extra 5 seconds?
Basically, can fuel save better than me, so he took to take less fuel in that final pit stop, and that's what did it. He was close. He was close to fumes coming across the line there. He was telling us, but yeah, just not meant to be. I don't think today.
SnetterTON then, it's only been out a few weeks on iRacing, but prior to this one tonight, have you had much experience of driving the track?
I think the last time I drove this track was in Toka 2, so it's been a while, and they've changed it as well, which is not good.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't like that turn 2. What
happened to
see
Sears? Yeah, what happened to Sears?
Yeah, it was a fantastic corner, was that? It let the track flow as well, but never mind.
You used to be able to cheat a lot on the outside as well, didn't you?
Cheat? No. The drivers extended the racing track? Never.
Never ever in a million years. But in all seriousness, Dominic, well done today. That was a good performance, and you know, do you wish that they've gone here for the on Thursday night as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. It's a fantastic track.
No Monza first chicane. Monza with her chicane for you.
The thing is, I actually did rather well on Thursday. I ended up finishing 9th overall for the week, so I did a good job for the team. And even though I'm not a fan of that particular layout of Monza, but SnetterTON, it's just fantastic. It brings great racing. You got a few good overtaking spots, and it's like that overtake that I did on Pete Harrod. I basically worked that from the exit of turn number 3 down the Bentley straight. I knew I'd got the run on him, and I just moved it out to the outside he defended, and that just set me up through that complex corners.
Yeah, it was a perfect cutback, and second place I think is an extremely good performance. In terms of what you prefer, do you prefer this layout, which is more the traditional layout, or would you have liked to have seen the full course?
No, this layout it flows a lot better. That infield section, I just think it just slows things down a little bit too much, and just it maybe creates one extra overtaking opportunity, but really it's a bit tight and a bit twisty for my liking. I prefer the sort of like flowing track, which is what the 200 is, over the 300 by no. But you know, I love it. Absolutely love this track. It's
kind of your spiritual home here with us on the Sunday evenings, actually, isn't it? Really, former Club Series commentator, and good to see you back on Sunday night, especially in the Kia Optima.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a bash. You know, never used this setup before either, so I had to get used to that, and it was fun. You know, who knows what might happen in the future.
All right, well, good work today, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Oh, in fact, Paul, will you be around for the World GT Championship tomorrow?
I can be.
No, just were you racing in it?
Oh, I'm not racing in it. No.
Oh, you're not racing in it. Oh, I was just wondering. That's all right. All right, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks a lot.
Paul Smith there. Next up is
what could have actually gone wrong there? In fact, we'll have another go. Adam squared.
We've got 2 Adams in the commentary box here. Well, we've just gone from having 2 Yorkshiremen in the commentary box having 2 people with exactly the same name.
Well, that and 2 Bedfordshire folk as well. I'm not too far from Alex.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I think
too many Southerners. I'm out of it.
Also, we've added another A to the commentary box as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A's in it. But yeah, Adam Hedgecott, well done on 4th place. I've actually got that right. 4th place in the Jetters today.
It was lucky to be 4th. I couldn't keep the bloody thing on the track. I listened to you guys in the in the background as I'm driving, just see if there's any
that's your problem, man.
Fun stuff going on. And whenever I heard my name, it was just after I'd hit the curb too hard or run off the track or whatever. All you're going to do is just see me going off the track all over the place. It was fun though.
The problem is you got to make a mistake and then hear about it 30 seconds later.
Well, yeah, there is that. See, I usually listen to it so that I can hear if there's any accidents in the Kias, sort of 30 seconds up the road, so I know to keep my eye out. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things, and I just couldn't keep it on the track, and yeah, every time that happened, you guys seemed to go to it, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, had to pit very late on.
Yeah, myself and Sean, we were. Well, I say we were trying. We were trying to kind of eke out as much as we could, because we thought that we might be able to make it depending on how the Kias were doing. Unfortunately, yeah, I couldn't manage it to the end, but Sean done it on just the one stop with 0.1 of a gallon left at the end, which was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Indeed, yeah. Overall, season as a whole for you in both this race today and the Club 73 Touring Car Championship that finished last week.
Oh, it's been a great season. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a good fun series. It's one of those kind of no pressure kind. You know what I mean? You come along on a Sunday, have a good race with some people that are just there to have some fun. And yeah, it's been brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it and can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, next season again in the Jetta.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm hopeless in the Kia, and I don't know if we're going with the Stang or not yet. So yeah, Jetta again, glutton for punishment and all that.
How was SnetterTON? Had you been practicing the track before?
I was planning on it, and then I realised what time the F1 was on. So yeah, no time for any serious practice. It's a fun little track. I mean, it's tricky. There's a few corners where you kind of really have to slam the anchors on and hook it up to get a good drive onto a straight. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a nice addition.
Very well. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
The usual, you know me, the boosted guys, me mum, you guys for putting on another great broadcast, and once again to everyone who's raced with us this season. It's been a blast.
Very well. Yeah, well done on the 4th place. I wasn't able to be any more because of that late pit stop. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, Alex, that pretty much ends the coverage for tonight. But yet another great race from the Club 73 Touring Car Championship.
Yep, yeah, good race. Enjoyed that. Different sort of highlights throughout the race, and yeah, good. It all come together at the end there, didn't it? So we had a bit of excitement from the Jettas. Didn't really know what was going on there. The Mustangs very close on the last lap as well, and throughout the race, Paul and Pete gave us a great show. We couldn't really ask for much more.
Right. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching here tonight here on Apex Racing TV. And we will see you next time for more from the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Join us tomorrow evening for the World GT Championship.